Good afternoon, HD507. Another day, another dollar. It's Wednesday. Hope all is well. Just a few quick things. One, I was reading some of your reflections. Very touching, very touching. I think the story was touching about the father and his son. And a lot of you were like, well, why didn't he do more? And why was the teacher allowed? It was just all over the place. And I get it. I think in my last video about this particular discussion, I spoke about knowing your audience. But I want to put something else on your mind about this whole situation with the young man, the dad, the student, and the teacher. The teacher kind of sort of knew what she was dealing with. So in a way, she knew her audience and what she could say and what she couldn't say. We know kids are just cruel. A lot of them are. But did you ever think that maybe dad just didn't know how to parent? And who does know how to parent? If you think about it, we get bits and pieces from our parents. And a lot of times you'll hear families say, oh, you're just like your mom, or you're just like dad, or, you parent what you see and how you interpret things from when you were a kid. You may get better at it, you may get worse. Because as I was reading you all's papers and just trying to understand where everyone was coming from, it made me think like, okay, maybe dad just didn't know how to be a good parent. Maybe this is what dad, the only thing he could give, it was what he was doing and expressing to those that will listen, hey, this is what I'm going through. Some of you say, well, he didn't look like he was interested. Why didn't he step up? And again, maybe he just didn't know. Because there's no textbook to parenting. I may think I do something better than you. And sometimes you may get with someone that already has kids and you may disagree with the way they do things. I've lived that. So great reflections. I'm proud of the class, of how everybody had their piece. Very interesting. So you pat on your back, commend yourself. It was great reading to where everybody's minds were. But again, it made me think, I want you to think what kind of parent he was. Just didn't know. And maybe he was bullied as a kid and how he dealt with it or how he didn't deal with it. So now that his son is a reflection of him, some of you felt that he didn't step up enough and take control of the whole situation. But again, I'm asking you, how do we know what type of parent he was? And did he even understand how to be a good parent? And what is a good parent? Today you see a lot of parents that want to be their children's friend. So a lot of things are just, they think it's cute, it's nice, but they're quick to defend their children, but they know how their children are. And I see this in education. As you can see behind me, being an administrator, I see parents that will run and attack the teacher knowing that their children are a certain way. And sometimes the teachers try to help and try to be there, like this teacher in the video. And parents step in sometimes they don't, like dad was just kind of in the background giving his story. So very interesting and great work on those reflection papers. But just think about dad. Maybe he just didn't know. But anyway, moving forward to your week 5 discussion. Adult learners. Wow, so different. And why are adult learners different? I think because if you start college at 18 and circumstances disallow you to complete or to graduate, I'm not going to use the ones that do graduate. You go on with life, you might get married, you may be working, you may have kids. You say, you know what, I need to get this degree. So you go back. You're more focused because you know what you want to do. Whereas when you are in high school, everybody's saying you have to go to college to be successful. And we know these days that's not necessarily so. But growing up in households, that's the American dream. You go to high school, you graduate from high school, you go to college, you get a good job. That's been put in our heads for so long, that's all we know. And when we're hit with that reality and we get there, sometimes we might go to high schools that are not as developing for the college life, not taking the right courses, of understanding the right courses, depending on where you grew up. So when you get to college, it's a struggle. And you're happy just to finish. Okay, I'm gonna get it done. And if you don't graduate, you drop out, you start to work. But then 10, 15 years later, you go back. Now you're ready because now this is something I want to do. I want to get my degree. So you sit in class sometimes with all these young people and they don't do their work, they don't turn them in, and you just doing everything, making sure that it happens. And you find out that you are a great student and you're making A's and you're turning in work and you're getting frustrated because you can't turn in your work. Whereas before, you're like, okay, I don't want to do this work. I don't want to do anything. I hate it. Because you were doing it for someone else. Mom, dad, grandmother, auntie, uncle, family, whoever, teacher. Most young people that go to college or out of high school are not going for themselves. They're going to please someone else. And what we have to realize that you can go to any college in America, the most expensive, the least expensive. At the end of the day, the only thing an employer want to know is, did you graduate? Can I get an official transcript? But we strive to go to these different schools to appease people. And it's a conversation piece for our parents. Oh, my son goes here. My daughter goes here. Oh, all of our family, we're legacy. We've gone to this college. Everybody knows our family. So at 18, 19, you're like, man, I'm here to appease folks. Get married, don't get married, life goes on, now you're back. It's a chore because you want to make it happen. So that's why adult learners, to me, are much easier to teach because they care. The mindset is totally different because it's something that they want. So when I saw the discussion, I said, oh, that's easy between adult learners and right out of high school. Right out of high school, you're doing it for someone else. Adult learners, you're doing it for yourself, either to get a better job, to make more money on your job, or just complete something that you didn't feel that you completed the right way. So let's say you went to college at 18, done at 22, you just breeze through, okay, I'm done. Okay, here you go, here's your diploma. It happened to me. My son, he said, this is for you. Whenever he graduated from college, like, and it didn't dawn on him until later, wow, I pushed like most parents did or do for their sons or daughters to graduate from college. That's the American dream, the American way. But it doesn't always have to be like that. And so again, when you're an adult learner, it's for you. You're doing this because you want to do it. So you do all your research. You know what you're comfortable with. I know a lot of you in this class are looking at, getting masters in early education, early childhood education. Some of you are doing different things, which is great. In my classes, in my 7-8 years of teaching, I never had many 18, 19-year-olds. So again, I commend you, adult learners. I enjoy teaching adult learners. Now, you ask a lot of questions, and sometimes you don't understand, and the writing styles are different. And I think that's the biggest adjustment that I hear from adult learners. They're like, oh, I haven't been to school in so many years. Why do I have to write in a certain format? I don't know if I can do it. But once you grasp it, it's easy. and every adult learner I know is successful when they go back to school. It's just in you. You just never knew it was in you, but it's in you. And then, of course, life lessons helps with that as well. So that's all I have for today on your assignment. As we know, we don't have anything, discussion. We don't have any assignment due this week. And I'll be back on the horn again. If you have any questions, some of you have emailed me. It's great. I enjoyed. Continue to do that. Text me. You might call. My phone operates a little different. If your number is not locked in, it won't allow, it'll go straight to my voicemail or just ring. So either leave me a message verbally or you can text me and I'll make sure to get back to you. Someone tried to send me a Microsoft Teams. I could not figure it out for the life of me. So I'm sorry if I missed you. Just text me or call me again and leave me a message and I'll call you back. Have a wonderful day. Talk to everyone soon. Have a great weekend also. Bye-bye.